Education in Panama was once determined to be the worst in the world. In the 1980s, most of the population was illiterate. Over time, it has grown to be much better. 93% of the total population in the year 2000 was literate. The United States of America wanted to create a quick and inexpensive way to travel from the Atlantic to the Pacific without having to navigate all the way around South America. The French had originally begun building a canal in Panama, Central America. Following their failure, the U.S. started to build a canal across a 50-mile piece of land called the Panama Isthmus in 1904. They finished the canal in August of 1914. President Theodore Roosevelt saw an opportunity and sent in military forces to help rebels overthrow their government and create the independent country of Panama. In return, he asked that the U.S. have control over the canal. Panama's economy boomed and flourished. The country decided that they needed to address the issue of education in conjunction with their newly found independence. Through many years of hard work and reform, the education system was improved. The education system consists of 4 separate portions. Primary school is first. It is required by law that children go to primary school. It starts at age 6 and goes on for 6 years. Lower secondary school is also required. It consists of 3 years, from grade 7 to grade 9. Upper secondary school is the third step in the education system. This is not required. It goes from grade 10 to grade 12. The final step is university, or tertiary. There is only a small percentage of students that go all the way through the system. Retention rates are low in Panama due to several factors. Some families cannot afford to send their children to school once it begins to cost money. Children in rural areas often must make difficult journeys on foot over long distances to reach school. During the rainy season, they may not even come to school for weeks because of dangerous rivers that flood their paths to school. These children stop going to school after they have met the minimum amount of schooling required. Another reason in rural areas for dropouts is for work. The child labor laws in Panama are lax, and some children are sent to work in the coffee and agricultural fields at the age of 12. Students lack motivation for attending school, and there's overcrowding in schools in urban areas. In both areas, high teen pregnancy rates exacerbate school dropouts. Private schools in Panama are considered some of the top schools in Central America. These schools have much better reputations in comparison to the public schools. Most private schools are religion-based and are known for their higher level of education. In these schools, children are encouraged to speak English, which results in an educated bilingual middle class within Panamanian society. 87% of the education for enrolled students is public. The remaining 13% is private. The private schools have access to vast resources and quality educators. The expectations for students in private schools are higher than those for students in public schools because of the circumstances and privileges presented to them. Private schools can usually afford better technology, such as computer labs and scientific equipment for the students. The private schools also have better teachers on their payroll because they have the money and ability to hire them. What are some of the best qualities of the education system in Panama?
Well, in Panama we have 2 education systems. Private education, so official education. According to the informs from our authorities in Panama, private education is better than official education. Our school here, Panama Adventist Institute, is a private education school. Also, we have several schools like this in our country. The numbers, also the studies, prove that our private Christian education system is a good system here in our country.
The education in public schools is free up through lower secondary school. After that, there's a fee for upper secondary school and tertiary school. Private school can be expensive. The admissions fee can range from $1,000 to $12,000 per student. There can also be reoccurring monthly fees. These can range from $180 to $1,000 per child. The expense of school is one of the causes for low retention rates in Panama. Many children drop out of school after lower secondary school because their family cannot afford to or is not willing to pay the fees. How do you feel about your education thus far?
I'm okay with my education because, it'll get me anywhere I want to go. It isn't going to limit my plans that I have for the future, but it would be nice if my teachers would focus more on having us learn than to have us work.
How far are you planning on continuing your education?
I plan on going to college and doing anything I can to get a good job, depending on what career I choose.
Do you think the education you are receiving is enough to get you a happy life in Panama?
In Panama, it's not that hard to live, to just have a decent life. Like, food grows in our backyards, and it's not like I need to get a super job, like a super good job to be able to survive and have everything that I need. So it's not hard to live happily in Panama.
The grading system works on a scale of 1 to 5, and a 3 is passing. Should a student fail a course, he must repeat it the next year. Should a student fail 4 or more courses within the same year, or if he fails the same course twice consecutively, he cannot pass the grade and is transferred to another school or to another class section within the same school. The Ministry of Education and the government regulate the school curriculum. Students are taught science, mathematics, language, social studies, and some elements of art and technology.
¿Cómo te sientes sobre su educación hasta ahora?
Me siento muy bien, muy cómodo, siento que estoy aprendiendo lo necesario y adecuado.
¿Hasta qué punto usted planea continuar su educación?
Planeo hasta terminar mi doctorado en medicina y ser profesional. Unos, 12 años más.
¿Crees que la educación que estás recibiendo es suficiente para conseguir una vida feliz en Panamá?
Sí, siento que si logro mis objetivos, puedo vivir muy cómodamente y placenteramente.
There are unscheduled breaks during the school year due to several reasons. The most common reason is heat. Sometimes it becomes too hot and issues arise. There are days when whole cities don't have water because of the heat and problems with the water systems. Another reason is teacher strikes. Public school teachers are known to strike regularly, but private school teachers get involved as well. In the summer of 2016, 17 teachers' unions under Unión Nacional de Educadores Panameños organized a 6-day nationwide strike. The strike ended when the government agreed to raise teachers' monthly salaries by $300 and to spend 6% of Panama's GDP on education. There are only 2 seasons in the Panamanian year, the rainy season and the dry season. The school year runs from April to December, which is mostly during the rainy season. Vacation occurs during the dry season in January and February for the public schools. Some private schools follow the traditional North American semester with vacation from September to June. Both types of schools observe various holidays throughout the year, including government holidays, carnivals, Easter, and Christmas. Students in private school are held to high standards. They are expected to do well in their classes and go to college or at least graduate high school. Private school children are not typically presumed to work normal jobs alongside school, but some do. Teachers assume some students will succeed in college more so than others. The school makes ready its students for life as an adult in the world.
Here in our school, we prepare our students not just to serve our country, but just to serve humanity. We have high Christian values that we teach them here in our classrooms, explaining the importance of to serve our Panamanian people, also foreign people. Also, they maybe or have plans to go outside our country to work for humanity.